I'm terribly sorry. There was a technical issue with the phone, so it just stopped recording. So, one faith, as I said, is the doctrines, the fullness of the teachings of the Church, which we call the Orthodox faith. The other the other thing that we also call faith is the inward communion with God, which can be also be called trust in God. Our own personal relationship with God is called also faith, that I have faith in God. They're both a faith, and both of them are absolutely necessary for salvation. First, to have the right doctrines, which is the right faith, and to have strong faith in God, that is strong trust in God. So where does the curiosity come in here? Because in both cases there can be healthy curiosity and unhealthy curiosity. When it comes to the first kind of faith, which are the doctrines and of the Church, we don't understand many things. Many things don't even make sense in human terms. But we trust the Church, we trust the revelations of God, and say that although I don't understand, for example, the dogma of the Trinity, 3 is 1 and 1 is 3, I don't understand it, but I trust God and trust the Church that this is the true teaching, and I will not be curious beyond this, beyond what has been revealed. So curiosity beyond what has been revealed in this kind of faith, right, is sinful even. It leads to heresies. It leads to presumption, or it is presumption. But within the limits of what has been revealed, and even if we don't understand, accepting what we don't understand and only limiting ourselves with the boundaries that the Church has imposed of what has been revealed and what has been interpreted and what has been given to us to know, then that stops being that bad kind of curiosity, and we can even stop calling it curiosity, and we can call it thirst for knowledge of things of God. Let's call it that. Knowledge of God, wanting to know more about God, but within the limits of what has been revealed and what has been interpreted. There are things that not only are incomprehensible to our mind, but have not been revealed to the Church by God. Where is paradise, for example? Who knows? It hasn't been revealed because God didn't deem it necessary for us to know. So if we ask questions that we have been given an answer by the Church, either that this is the answer and we don't understand it, but we persist to try to understand it, or rather challenge the answer because we don't understand it, that is bad curiosity, right? Or if we challenge the Church to know things that have not that we don't understand, but have not been revealed, and we are trying to find out things in the doctrines, in the dogmas and the teachings of the Church that have not been revealed by God, that is bad curiosity. So in this understanding of faith about the doctrines of the Church, the limit is to be satisfied. What has been revealed to us, what has been interpreted to us, and if we don't understand something, to just accept it, that, well, that is the limit of my, even if I don't understand, I trust the church that that's how it is, and I won't try to pry more in order to understand it, because if we do that, then we'll end up with a wrong teaching to accommodate our mind to the teaching. That's where heresies start, when teachings that cannot be understood, but accepted rather, when people try to make them rational, make them understandable to their minds, right? That's where seeds of heresies are, when we try to make the incomprehensible be comprehensible to our mind, to wrap our mind around a revelation that needs to be simply accepted as it is, even if we don't understand it. That curiosity leads to heresies, and that's why it's bad. But if we accept the limits, that this is, I don't understand it, but this is what the church teaches, and I want to know more about what it teaches, but within the bounds and with the limitation that I might not understand everything, that is thirst for knowledge for God, and that is blessed. That is not idle curiosity, that is thirst for knowledge for things of God. So let's differentiate those two things, okay? And to repeat, as long as we understand that there are things we won't understand, and as long as we understand that there are things that even haven't been revealed to the church, within those bounds, to know more, to deepen our knowledge about things of God, the doctrines of the church, is blessed, and that is not curiosity. That's thirst for knowledge. But now let's turn to the other not kind of faith, but other that other faith that other that inner not feeling but communion with God in a sense, right, that we call faith, which is trusting God. There too there is curiosity that can be good, and there is curiosity that can be destructive. And this is the context in which, in this particular lesson, faith was counterposed to curiosity. When there are things that might happen in our lives that are difficult to understand, because providence of God is difficult to understand. When we try to understand it with the knowledge that we might not understand everything of why God disposed in such way our lives, right? That this should happen, or that should happen, or this shouldn't happen, and that shouldn't happen. That why in our lives happen things this way or that way. As long as we understand that we might not understand everything, it is good to pray about and to ask God about knowing why it was this way and not that way. But if we start to be curious about things that God does not reveal to us, and instead of trusting Him about things that we don't understand, things that might have happened to us, things that might have happened to our loved ones, things that affect us, basically, right? If we do not receive an answer and it is incomprehensible, it makes no sense to us why our life would take this turn, or why this would happen in our lives, or lives around us. If we do not receive an answer, instead of being curious, that is doubting and allowing doubts to come into a mind of trying to guess why this and why that, instead of simply trusting God, saying that, yes, I don't understand, but I trust God's providence, and I will stop prying into trying to understand something that clearly God does not want to reveal to me now. As long as we understand that limitation, then to pray about knowing things, why they happen, is fine. But when, as I say, it becomes a wanting to know at the expense of trust of God, that curiosity is destructive to our faith. That's why it was said that faith should be free from curiosity, this kind of curiosity, when it is done at the expense of our trust in God's providence, in God's care for us, that knowing that no matter what happens, God loves us, and anything that, no matter how God disposes our lives, whatever is out of our control, right? God directing our lives in things that are out of our control, He knows what He's doing, and we trust in His providence, that whatever happens to us, to our loved ones, to environment, anything in the world that affects us, right? That God is in charge, and He has only our salvation as the aim of anything that happens. When our curiosity makes victim this kind of trust in God, then it's bad. Obviously it's bad. When we are more concerned about understanding things that God has chosen not to reveal to us, than to simply trust Him and say, I won't even pray about this anymore. I will simply trust God, and I will ask Him to strengthen me in this trust of Him, in this truth that God cares for me, and no matter how incomprehensible and difficult to understand or accept or carry this whatever is happening is to me, I trust in Him. That is the trust that we need to cherish, and reject that curiosity that could kill that trust in us. For if we put more strength, put preference on trying to understand things that God has not revealed to us, then in trusting God that He has best interests in us, interests for us, and directs our life in a way that is best for our salvation, then that is bad curiosity. And that's what it means. So I try to explain two kinds of faith, and also curiosity in both cases that is bad, and thirst for knowledge or thirst for understanding that is good. So curiosity in this sense, in this context, was used in the sense that I just described, when we put our wanting to understand providence of God above us trusting the providence of God, and that is bad curiosity. Trying to understand God's providence is done through prayer, and if we do not receive an answer from God, then we accept it, that's the limitation of wanting to know more, just as I has explained that there are limitations to how we should approach knowing more about doctrines, and those limitations are that we might not understand everything, and there might be things that even the church has not been taught by God, right? As long as we accept those limitations, wanting to know more is blessed, right? So also there are limitations to wanting to know in this second kind of faith, that is that if God does not reveal to us in prayer, in our communion with Him, why this or this has happened in our life, or whatever affects us, right? We will not pursue this persistence at the expense of simply trusting Him and saying, Thy will be done. I don't understand it. This might even is something that is hurting me. This is a cross difficult to carry, but I trust you more than I care to understand why this is happening, because I trust in your mercy and compassion that everything that you do is for my benefit. That is the right way, and as will be long as we accept that limitation, that God might not reveal everything that He does in our lives, and might not reveal how His providence works, then as long as we accept that, then asking Him to understand more is also thirst to try to understand better God's providence. But if we are not given an answer, and we insist at the expense of losing trust in God, right, then that's bad. That is the kind of curiosity here is described, the curiosity that kills trust in God, and we don't want that. So I hope I explained further, in a broader sense, what faith means, and what thirst for knowledge and understanding means, and what in this context faith means, and why this kind of curiosity is bad. So if I missed any questions, forgive me. You can remind me. I can record another video about it, but I think I answered all the questions, because most of them were, dealing with curiosity from different angles, but the crux of the question was the same. Why is curiosity bad? I think, I hope I answered it. Now, tomorrow I'll be posting the next lesson, and let's continue with that. And although I am sick, I think at least I can keep doing this although with a bit of delay, keep the school going. And that'll be all then for tonight. Apologies again for the delay. Listen to this. If something doesn't make sense, or it evokes more questions, ask. But tomorrow I'll be posting the next lesson. Okay? Have a good night, everyone. God bless you.